Wireless companies are taking steps to prevent customers from experiencing bill shock. Today, we are taking a closer look at that. Welcome back, everyone, to 10 News at 5. I'm Beth Haynes. Millions of people have experienced that moment when you look at your wireless bill and discovered that you've gone over your monthly allotment or minutes or messages, and your bill has skyrocketed. It's called bill shock, and it could quickly become a thing of the past. NBC's Mark Barger has more.
The term bill shock is exactly what Reba Rosenauer got.
My mouth is gaping. I'm like, what?
A $3,100 cell phone bill. Much of that international roaming charges from a 3-day Canadian vacation. Rosenauer's bill is an extreme example, but the FCC's hoping soon a less frequent one. That's after wireless carriers pledged today to give text message warnings to consumers before they go over monthly limits for calls, roaming, text messages, and data usage.
This solution will give consumers the information they need to save money on their monthly wireless bills.
2 surveys in the past year by Consumers Union, the nonprofit publisher of Consumer Reports, found an average of 1 in 5 customers have suffered some form of cell phone bill shock.
Consumers just didn't know that they were hitting their caps or their limits on their phones.
The pledge for a limit alert comes as the threat of government-imposed mandates loomed for wireless carriers.
They would much rather regulate themselves and sort of be in charge of their own destiny than have Congress or have the FCC impose some regulation.
The companies pledged to have alerts in place within 12 months for at least 2 of their services, all of them within 18 months. But as data use starts to outweigh calling minutes on smartphones, there is still a learning curve for consumers.
How much is emailing or checking Facebook or even streaming a few minutes of video, how much is that going to eat up my data plan either on my smartphone or on my iPad?
That knowledge, along with the alerts, could help consumers avoid some unexpected bills. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Now, the only remaining question seems to be who will actually get the alerts. The person whose name is on the account, the person who controls the actual phone, or both. Well, for more on this topic, we are joined by U.S. Cellular Area Sales Manager Chris Stokes and Dan Thompson from Claris Networks. We certainly appreciate you both for being here and adding your expertise with this topic. And Chris, we want to start with you. This alert system, this is something that U.S. Cellular and I think other wireless carriers have offered for some time, right?
Well, U.S. Cellular began offering this service in 2009, and it's been very successful. We have helped numerous customers limit any exposure to overage on their voice and text messaging services, and currently we have over 3 million customers that have signed up for this service with U.S. Cellular.
So it's been a big benefit to your customers.
Yes.
Dan, how much of an issue is the bill shock for customers? Something we certainly don't want.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it's a huge issue. I mean, because, I mean, I don't know if you've ever done it before, but I know I've gone over on my bill.
Yes, I have.
I mean, so it's pretty much, I mean, it's a fairly common thing. I mean, like the $3,100 bill, like they were talking about just a minute ago, I think it's probably on the fringe. But, I mean, going over by $25, you know, I've done it before, so I have to imagine other people have. So, I mean, this is just, in my opinion, a good move on the cell phone companies.
Sure.
It's a great customer service initiative because they're being proactive about helping you, and the reality is it's going to end up in less calls for them of people calling and saying, hey, I went over on my bill, can you help me out?
Right. Now, we mentioned U.S. Cellular already offers an alert system. Will this change what you all offer or what is already in place for your customers?
It will bring an enhancement. We'll begin also offering data and international roaming overage protection to complement what we already offer is our voice and text messaging overage. And that's where most people experience overage right now is in their text messaging and voice, but it's changing to data.
The climate has changed, and a lot of people are concerned about the data. If companies are already doing this, why has it become such an issue?
You know, I think some of it probably is tied to the state of the economy these days. People are, you know, tighter in the pocketbook than they used to. Also, a lot of these companies are changing away from going to unlimited plans and going to a more, you know, more structured plan. So when you start doing that and people kind of have gotten used to just doing whatever they want, whenever they want, and then now you're kind of limiting them, this is just a good move on their part to kind of help protect people from that bill shock.
All right, we've got just a few minutes left. Does this put an end to the regulations the FCC was trying to impose on wireless providers, or Will there be more to come, in your
Well,
opinion?
the great news is that the wireless industry worked with the FCC, and this is something that we came to an agreement on without a mandate or a law that really puts this in place. So I like the fact that the other cellular companies will be also joining in with something that we've been offering for several years now to protect customers against their exposure to overage.
Yeah, all right. Well, we appreciate you both being here,
Yes.
Chris and Dan.
No problem.
Great information. And stay with us. We're coming right back after this break.